Shana Tova, everyone. It's Melissa here from Little Kosher Lunch. And whereas last year I was doing a lot of High Holidays videos for you, this is my first one for the new year. Since it's 2020, a lot has gone on and it is not a normal year. And I really wanted to tell you why and how we're celebrating this new year maybe a little bit differently than we have in past years. As I said to my husband while he's filming this, can you see all the chaos around me or does it look okay? Because we're here in our living room, our dining room, and also our virtual classroom. So that's one thing that is really different about this year that I wanted to share with you. The other thing that's different this year is that there are fires happening. So while COVID caused a lot of schools to reopen in an open air classroom format. And this week we found out that we can't send our kid to her open air preschool because of the air quality. So we're indoors today. And I just wanted to present that to you so that you don't imagine that things are going as usual over here at my house. So today I just wanted to share with you what I am doing to celebrate the new year. And maybe the most obvious thing that I'm doing is that I've gotten out of my leggings for you today. And I decided to put on nice clothing. And so that's the first thing I'm going to talk to you about. The second thing I'm going to say is please be quiet. Thank you. So I know that all of you are probably struggling with something similar, even if it's not fires where you are. And the first thing that I've decided to do after 6 months in leggings is to order and put on a new dress. Here it is with little toucans on it. And I slicked my hair back. I may not have washed it. And I just kind of put myself together so that I feel better. Some other things that we've been working on in the past few months being at home are just kind of improving our day-to-day lives as best as we are able. So another thing is that I'm carrying a new purse that I got on a Buy Nothing group. So we're trying to not spend so much money. I'm trying to clean out a little bit. And also to ring in the new year, my entire family has just ordered new underwear. It's not a Jewish teaching, but it's certainly something that's going to make us feel better in the coming year. Let's talk more seriously about Rosh Hashanah and the things that I will be doing with my family because planning is hard and these are the things that I can control. So as you can see over here, and this is styled by Lacey, my big girl, we've put together some visuals of the challahs that we are baking. I'm baking challah now, practicing my round braids, and I have a video to show you how I, as a new challah baker, sort of started the round challah braiding and getting more comfortable with my challot. So these I practiced and baked last night, and I'm going to be gifting challahs this year. So that is something in my power in a distanced way that I can leave on my sister's doorstep, my parents' doorstep, even though we aren't necessarily getting together for dinner indoors this year. Round challah. The other challah that was born last night is my beehive challah, you guys. And my husband's like, what is that? And he's very excited to eat it. This is just a round challah where I twisted my single strand challah a little tighter than usual. And so I forced it upward. This one is actually stuffed with golden raisins. Sorry, sweetie, I have some plain ones. And this is a beautiful little crabapple branch from my tree outside. So that is a beehive challah, great to serve with honey and apples and to be reminiscent of bees. All right. So in addition to baking challahs for my family and friends, I'm actually participating in and leading a challah bake for my Temple Women's group. And that is a fun way for us to connect over Zoom in a safe way. Everyone gets the recipe in advance. And this week we're going to bake challah the night before Erev Rosh Hashanah so that everyone can have fresh challah if they want to make it for themselves. And I'll be there to guide my women in my congregation. The other thing that we're going to be participating in is online services. We actually received a really nice guide for 5781 from our temple, the blessings, and a beautiful challah cover. Thank you to our congregation. That was such a nice treat. Let me tell you about all of the flexible plans that I'm making that may not pan out, and maybe where you are, they will pan out. So I'm just gonna plan and replan, and maybe you'll make these plans too. We are planning a socially distanced outdoor Rosh Hashanah lunch with my parents. If it's 113 degrees or if Los Angeles is on fire, we won't be doing that. We're also possibly doing a pick your own outing to our local farm to go with our other pod friends. And the last thing that we're planning that may not happen is maybe a Rosh Hashanah picnic. And I even like baked and styled and did some really beautiful challah where you make the challah with a glass baked in the center, an oven-proof glass, and you can put the honey in the center of your challah for dipping your challah and dipping your apples. I think doing a platter and a gorgeous spread that's in a basket like this one that you can carry out of the trunk of your car into a beautiful picnic spot is a gorgeous thing that you can do outdoors in the beautiful fall weather if weather permits. Some other things that I've never done for Rosh Hashanah that I am doing this year due to the coronavirus is I'm sending cards. PJ Library sent these really charming ones. I shared them on my Instagram. They're postcards. And so we're going to be filling these out this weekend and getting them into the mail. I also got one for a family member that is just a beautiful card from the drugstore. I never do this, but I picked up this beautiful set of Hallmark Rosh Hashanah cards. I was very drawn to them because they're sort of like Japanese print style imagery. Don't know why, but I like it. The only thing I'm kind of struggling with is some of the messaging, which doesn't apply this year with coming together, but in spirit, we will be coming together and we'll be sending these to loved ones who we will not be seeing this year at temple or in our homes. This channel is called Little Kosher Lunch after all. So the other thing that I'm doing and that I've done in past years is I am packing and making Rosh Hashanah themed lunch boxes for my children. It takes maybe just a little extra thought and effort, but really anything I make can kind of have that Rosh Hashanah flair, whether it's apples and honey in a lunch, whether it's cutting my quesadillas into shofars instead of triangles, or using a cookie cutter to make an apple shape. Those little things actually are noticed by my children and I think have really paid off. That's what we're doing, even though we're eating those lunches at home and even though my children are making a lot of rustling noises in the background. Everyone is on top of everyone this year. It's challenging. So applesauce, apples and honey. I'm baking tiny chalot, little roll versions of these that the school has asked for us to provide the kids for when they do services online. It makes things feel a little bit nicer and a little bit more like school when we would have been there in person. The other thing, in addition to little cute foods and little Rosh Hashanah themed lunches that we're doing, is we are doing some nice crafts and just some very simple decorating around the house. These are actually not even put together, but I organized all my craft supplies before school started because I'm a school now. These are just pom-pom fruits, whether it's felt or just scrap fabric cloth that you have. I cut out some old terry cloth leaves, some pom-poms, and we grabbed a stick from outside. And you could make these permanent by gluing them together, or you can just give your kids the pieces. But doing symbolic little fruits on your table could be a really fun thing for your kids' table this Rosh Hashanah. I have done all the crafts, so I have crafts videos upon crafts videos that I'll link up for you below. But this year's crafts that we're doing, we're keeping it really simple because, again, life is complicated. One thing that I really love for Rosh Hashanah is using an egg carton to symbolize honeycomb or a beehive. And I just pulled out of my pom-pom jar all the colors that could be a bee. And you can put some little felt stripes on these brown and yellow pom-poms. And some googly eyeballs. Let your kids just do this the way that they want. It could be done with a math game. It could just be decorative. You could glue it together and stick it up on a shelf as a home decoration. This could be your centerpiece, or it could just pass the time, you guys. The other little bee that my children mocked up for you this morning is here. And this little bee is made out of one of the corks from the many bottles of wine that we have had during the pandemic. So we got out some corks, we got out some tissue paper that we already had, the eyeballs that we had, and a Sharpie, and just glued this together in a few minutes. And what I think is so cute is that I had tiny clothespins, or you could use a big clothespin, and we glued that on here too. And once it's dry, we could tie up a challah and we could clip a little bee onto it for Rosh Hashanah to give as a gift to a friend or a family member. So I thought these were super cute, and you could also put things like your little cork bees into your honeycomb. We have a million toilet paper rolls in our household, so you could also do bee crafts very easily with some tissue paper, paint, or a marker, or construction paper, and eyeballs are optional. You know, I've never seen a bee eyeball. So these are our craft ideas for this year. This is what we're baking this year. We have our Rosh Hashanah felt that I pull out from year to year. And even though it's been around for like 3 years, the kids still like it. So we have Rosh Hashanah felt. I have SUKKOT felt that's going to come out for the next big harvest holiday. I assure you that since we live near a lot of Jews and a lot of temples, we will be hearing the shofar blow this year, even if we are not in the temple. If you have a shofar, maybe you will master blowing it. If you have a toilet paper roll, maybe you will blow that this year to symbolize the call and the beginning of the days of awe. Someone's going to go get her shofar right now. Really, it's just a weird year, you guys. So we're just going to be together wearing new fresh underwear, maybe something that's not leggings, and eating something symbolic of the holiday. And for me, that's enough, right?
This is not a toilet paper roll.
No, we have so many different paper rolls. Shana Tova, everyone. I hope that you're doing okay. I hope that you're healthy and well. I hope you're staying safe. Don't be silly. Stay home. I hope you pack. I hope you pack a nice Rosh Hashanah lunch and eat it by yourself. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Yep.
Happy birthday!
It's good.
How many thumbs?
Take a bite.